Hello and good evening, and you are back live with the crew. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Here we have ourselves a Thursday night, and this man, I got nothing. I got nothing. There's nothing going on in the world. There's nothing happening, and crypto's, I don't know what's crypto doing. It's just standing around looking at itself in the mirror all day. And I don't understand how. Okay, somebody explain this to me. How can the fundamentals be that darn good? The world coming to, well, I don't know, we're not going to go back to the abacus. So I guess it's going to go to crypto. The movement and exchange of all things. Yet, gosh, price is no reflection of value. That's one of the few things that Warren Buffett said that I actually believe in. It's proven today. Price is no reflection of its future values. Clearly, that's the case. Is crypto frustrating right now? Is anybody? I mean, give me something in the chat here. Give me a whatever. A 1 or a 2. A 1. If you're frustrated by what's going on in that market, just give me a 1 in the chat or something. I don't know. Here's the thing. Frustration usually means capitulation. You've heard me talk about this a dozen times. This is capitulation. We're not quite, I wouldn't even say that we're completely there yet, because I haven't had my loyal list of loyal XRP fans and bag holders say, that's it, Allan. I bought it at 25 cents and, it's $1 and I'm out. I tripled my money, quadrupled my money. I'm out. Yeah. I'm going to go pet the dog. That's real capitulation. That's when you look at it and you say, oh my word, you've been in this thing for 6 years and you went through all the way through the court case and you went through all that whole mess, and then now you're giving up right now. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we're not even at the finish line here. Is there a finish line for crypto? I'm going to say that's a fun question, really, isn't it? I just asked myself a relevant question there. So I'm going to answer it like this. I'm going to say crypto is very relevant for the next 20 years. Gosh, that's a stretch, really, isn't it? With AI coming and all the rest of that. I'm going to say at least 10, right? Yeah. We're looking at definitely back up the truck time. Yeah, just in time. Yeah, I believe that to be true. Who do we got in here tonight? Peter, my brother. Man, there are certain people when you meet people and you just know right away. I met Peter on the phone 2 or 3 times, and before I even met the man, I was like, yeah, that guy. That guy. That's him. I talk about this and often on this channel, but it bears repeat. There's people, and many of you in this chat, because how do I know that? Because I met you personally. There's many people that when you meet them, there's just a little something, je ne sais quoi, about who this person. What's happening right there? What is? It's tastefully done, but yet it's perfect in its presentation and its simplicity and its confidence of oneself and knowledge of well-being emanates. When you meet people like that, you just know, right? You don't even need words. It's a passion, it's a love, it's a connection, it's a vibrational understanding of mano y mano. And I'm proud to say that I have that with hundreds of people. What a blessing. Can you imagine a man's life where he actually feels close, so close to hundreds of people? Now, I know there's other channels and there's smarter people in crypto and there's people that are more eloquent and they have a better, clearly they have a better stage and, presence and background. And, I pulled this shirt out of the hamper, I'm sure. So like they have a whole thing going on and it's professional. And, Paul Barron comes to mind, right? Like, boom, we got this episode and, we got charts and graphs and man's brilliant. And I love his work and he's an amazing man, and interviewed him and he didn't make it to my show. And I'm still not wondering why that is. But anyway, he and I think, are going to be doing something together in Vegas. I'm not going to the XRP show. I am going to all the events around the show, and I will be going to the Bitcoin show. Okay, so something special has happening. It's those of you who are in the private group. I don't want to talk about too much, but we have a meeting tomorrow. So that private group, hopefully you've had notification. If you haven't received a text or an email, check your spam. Could be in there. That's all I'm going to say about that, because it's not fair to all the people that aren't going to be involved in that. My crypto take, I think I already gave it, but I'm going to say this. Markets dropped. Precious metals dropped. Crypto dropped more, which is kind of scary, but we are the volatile one. But the beauty of what I learned over the last month, 6 weeks of crypto, is this. And listen up, folks, because this one's kind of hitting me clear and clean. You know when you tune in and you say to yourself, well, wait a minute. I'm going to talk about that later in the show here. By the way, this show is going to be about my relationship with you. So if that's boring, I'm finding a different show tonight. But I think you're going to appreciate and like what I have to say here tonight. And no, it's not going to be all cheerleader rant. It's going to be a little bit of everything. So getting back to my crypto take, I really honestly believe this to be true. We've arrived. You can't, do we correlate? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we do. But the fundamentals of when I started looking at the futures markets and the options markets and everything BlackRock, and they traded, and people, that BlackRock had the largest sell-off in the following day. They had one of the largest buybacks. I'm not calling it manipulation. I'm just saying, somebody said, hey, pull the plug in the drain. And that was easy for you to say. And somebody buy it all back, and then fill the tub back up. Right? Gee, it almost looks scripted. Anyway. More people own ETFs today than ever before. And yet we're down on Bitcoin level, down what? I don't know, 50%? Yeah. It goes back to that whole thing I kept telling everybody about, right? Let's remember, every time there's a seller, there's a buyer. Somebody bought it. You sold it, somebody bought it. Well, the price went down. That means that more people sold than bought. Nope. Nope. If you're selling it for 124 and somebody's buying it at 123.7, did the price go down? Yep. But somebody still bought it, right? Somebody bought that one. Just saying. So our basis is lower. What does that mean to you and I? Well, it means two things. It means that when this thing stops and turns around And by the way, it's not going to be a 2-year bear market. Anybody that keeps telling you that, it's like, okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that one. In fact, get their number and make sure that you get a hold of them within 2 years, because that's not what's happening here. What we're about to see with the printing, the money, the new Fed chair, the new business numbers. Can we talk about something I never talk about, like jobs numbers and all? Have you seen what's going on out there? Have you seen the economy? Have you seen everybody telling you how bad the economy is? And then you look at the actual real numbers. Orders are up. Raw goods are up. Shipping is up. Trucking is up. Fuel costs are down. Jobs are up. Government jobs are down. Public sector jobs are through the roof. And people are trying to tell me we're about to crash. We don't have enough electricity, so we're building as much electrical plants and gas burning turbines as humanly possible. I would have to say, if you're going to go into a recession or a crash, wouldn't you be looking at something that the opposite of that? Like you'd be not needing as much power or electricity? Just an interesting thought. That tells me that where are we going with crypto? Are we going down? Yeah, maybe. I mean, could be still for a while because the shorts have control right now. But what do we know about trading and traders and platform? The scariest position to own is a short. Let's remember, if you're shorting XRP, it can only go down $1 more or whatever it is, $1.20 or whatever. It can only go down $1.40. Right? If you're long. If you're shorting, infinity against you. There's nothing worse than holding a short. If you've ever shorted a market and went to bed, you don't sleep well. Shorts will not prevail. They just won't. I'm sorry. That's humanity. I've talked about this before. In Japan, you're not even allowed to short companies, stocks. How about that, right? Where's the market emphasis for a market to go down in Japan? There really isn't any. And let's remember, everything that Allan is doing, and I don't care if you like him. I honestly, I don't even know how you can't like the man at this point. You might be jealous and you might say, well, one man doesn't deserve all that. I'd say, okay, well, I could be down with that to some degree. But I'd also say, well, I wouldn't want any other man to be in charge of everything he's in charge of, because personally, the rest of us probably muck the whole thing up. Muck with an M. And I think he's a different level of brilliance. He's a different level. I talked about this, but he's an engineer, guys. He's a genius engineer. Most engineers are pretty sharp characters, right? As we all know, but they get stuck in engineer world, and they can tell you exactly how to create a Twinkie, but they got no idea what the wood, paper comes from wood. You know what I mean? Anything outside of their knowledge base, they're just like, wow, no, you're missing the point. Anyway, he's an engineer who is thinking of everything. The man's thinking of everything. He's got the communication figured out, satellites. He's got power figured out. He's got batteries figured out. He's got electrical anything figured out. He's got the future of AI figured out. Grok is growing twice as fast as any other AI system in IQ levels. When you combine that with the fact that he's about to put everybody on a cell phone network, his network, he's about to direct connect every vehicle and every cell phone to that network. And he's about to say, gee, we're going to come up with X money next. Yeah, you let that little cat out of the bag. Is it XRP? Sure, a lot of speculation about it. Do I believe it's XRP? I don't. I just don't. Do I think XRP are going to be the rails that a lot of it runs on? Oh, yeah, definitely. But I don't know. So until Elon calls me up and gives me the inside scoop, I'm pretty much, speculating with the rest of the YouTube crowd. Today's an interesting day for me. I've had a week. Tomorrow's a week. Is it a week? Or is it 2 weeks? Time flies with this old guy. It's been a week, I believe. I don't know. Since I did a show. Yeah. It's amazing to me. Because I heard people tell me, oh, Allan, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. What are you doing? What do you want to do that for? Why would you do that? We don't need a show. Let's all just do a meetup somewhere. Let's all do this and let's do that. I don't live in fear, people. Let me look into the camera clearly and explain to you something. I don't live in fear. There goes the cat. That scared me though. See, you just never know, the cat jumping off the bookshelf. Clearly I brought the cat. The cat's name is not Fear. I was not summoning the cat. That's BG. The story of BG real quick. BG is short for big guy. Okay? Big guy. Because it's a tiny little kitten that never really grew up all that big. We found out it's not a guy. So we just call it BG. Yeah. That's what you got to do when you're scrambling, when the vet tells you, yeah, that's a male tabby. Very rare, I guess. Rare to have a female orange tabby. But anyway, the red phone, it's being blocked by, I'm packing bags right now because I'm going on a trip. I'm in the process of packing. The bat phone is still there. I don't fear things. Nothing. Oh, of course. I mean, to some degree, torture or whatever. I just don't. I don't have the capacity for it any longer. It's truly a negative, such a negative feeling. I don't resonate with it anymore. Does that mean I walk around in Shangri-La and my everyday's no. But when I get an idea and I pursue the idea and I think to the idea in a manner of like, okay, somebody approaches me with a concept or a business opportunity or a lead of some kind. I don't instantly look upon it and ask myself, what's going to break? Where's the failure points? See, I learned over a lifetime that weighing the pros and cons leads to a life of cons. That's all it does. Spend less time with the cons and less time with the cat in your face. Be handy. Beej, I don't know what, can't be hungry. We already gave him the crunchies earlier today. So, I already know that's not it. Got to be something else. What I no longer do is things that don't make vibrational sense to me. I don't. I guess because we're all crypto people that we're all sort of risk takers, clearly, to some degree, some level that most public isn't. But I don't fear trades, and I don't. Maybe it's a decade of being a Forex trader or more. Maybe it's that. Maybe that hardened me to some degree. But when I see an opportunity, if it resonates with me, I roll with it. I just roll with it. That's where I'm going. That's where we're going. I'm going to introduce a product or two to you. I'm going to go into a little bit about it tonight, but I'm also going to go into this over the weeks to come. There's 2 or 3 ideas that I have for everybody. And I'm talking about, I'm not trying to exclude anybody here. I'm really not, but I've kind of created an issue for myself here. But I have a private group in which they know who they are. And they are people that were at the show and they signed on to something. That investment club, it's a club. Like I take all their advice. That's what I plan on doing. So that's one thing. What I'm going to be doing on this show is I'm going to say, hey, I had this opportunity come across my desk the other day. And in this opportunity, I see a future for, I don't know, maybe you should throw $1,000 at it. Maybe you should throw $100 at it. Maybe you should not throw any money at it. But I'm going to share them with you because I've been saying no for 5 years. And what I realized about a year ago is I was saying no because I never wanted ever to promote something that could turn out to be FTX. But then when I look at things like such as today, people are having a hard time moving coins around in Coinbase. And people are having a hard time in a couple of exchanges. And it's like, well, everything's subject to problem, really, isn't it? Is that a reflection on Allan? Maybe. If I promote a product, yeah, it kind of is. But the bottom line is you have to use your own discernment. And you're a big boy and girl now, right? If you're following this channel, you've already figured out that I'm not here to con anybody. I'm here to help us figure out who the con is and then say, okay, well, I don't resonate with that one. I do with this one. And let's ride that horse for a while. And if it bucks us off, it bucks us off. And we didn't put our life savings in it. And we all had a great time investing and making money at it. There's been 3 or 4 things that I've already done that with. MSTY comes to mind. But there's 2 or 3 other products that I've talked about. I'm going to get more into detail with the one that I heard about not long ago. I'm not going to let it out of the bag yet, but I'm going to tell you it was really fun. And I'm really excited about where it could take us all. And I think it's going to have a good year to maybe 2-year run. I know I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I get that. It's not fair, but I'm doing that because I'm not done vetting the whole thing yet. I'm just not. And it's one of those. It's one of those things that's a bit risky, but it's also the returns are absurd. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. If you could just let that baby roll for 6 months or a year, holy smokes, that's going to make a big difference in somebody's life. And there's a lot of people that, hey, you know what? They only make a couple of grand a month, and they're trying to live off that. And no matter where they live, that's not a lot of money. And if we could double that a month, wow, look at that. How cool would that be for somebody? So those are the opportunities I'm always looking for, and I'm going to bring them. And why do I bring them? Because they resonate with me. They do something for me. And typically I know what they are because I don't fear them immediately. Number one, that's one of my parameters. Number two is immediately upon hearing the idea, I go, that'll work. Good genie on the shoulder says, yep, Allan, that'll work. That mathematically works. Or that white paper makes sense. Or that business structure I've seen succeed. Right? So there you go. Yeah. What are we doing here? Oh, I see. We got a little chat thing over here. You guys are having fun in there. Okay, so let's get going on some of this stuff. I truly do have a plan for this channel. I know sometimes it doesn't always come out in the video. I have a grand scheme. No, it's no master plan, and no, I am no genius, and no, I am not your financial guru. However, I have products currently that are doing very well. Ultimately, down the road, I will be sharing those with everybody down the road. In the short term, I'm picking a board, I'm picking a group, and I'm making sure that we have all our ducks in a row. And these opportunities that I'm bringing to you are going to become commonplace. How do I know that? Because there's 3 or 4 of them on my plate. They all make sense. They're all DeFi. They're all making money with DeFi. And the only people that's keeping all of that back is the Unclarity Act. Okay? That Unclarity Act is a bunch of criminally run institutions that are trying to keep the returns, monthly returns, in their own pocket and not allowing you to gain the necessary income to improve your life. That to me is unacceptable. That's simply not acceptable in this man's life. And they're here. Those products are here now. Are they here in the US? No. Are they in Canada? No. Are they in Oz? No. Are they in the UK? Absolutely not. You have to go to Singapore. You have to go to, I don't know, Guam, or you have to go to Belarus, or no, Belarus isn't good. They're pretty tight over there. You know what I'm saying? Hong Kong, right? Dubai. These places, somebody said you haven't gotten an invite yet. Check your spam or it's for Saturday morning. So check your spam, and they'll probably still coming out. You'll get updates. And if you don't, I don't know, blow me up. It won't, look, it's just a onboarding welcome type thing. You're not missing anything great. And we will get it sorted. So all these other foreign countries are able to do these things because they don't have regulations, and they don't have it's bigger than regulations. They don't have the group of people that control the banking world residing in their country. Let's put it that way to some degree. Those people have made profits that I've known about for decades now, and I'm finally tapping into those profits. Little old me is tapping into some great banking opportunities and some financial friends along the way that are going to help us do a lot of wonderful things. If you, by any chance, have an opportunity that you'd like to share with the team, get a hold of me, because I am listening. I am quite busy, but I do listen to great opportunities. Something my grandfather always said. I know I've shared this, but it's so important. Son, always listen to a man who is willing to hire you. And that's essentially what somebody's doing when they're pitching a product to you. If a man's willing to hire you for being you, always hear him out. Even if you have the best job in the world, always hear the new opportunity. You just never know what's going to come. I used that. I went from boat to boat to boat on many of the yachts I did because mainly I left boats that I thought the boss was maybe not a benevolent man, actually knowing they weren't benevolent people, and couldn't really stomach much of it any longer. So that's kind of why I moved around a lot. But I want to talk about the show a little bit, not just this show that we're on tonight, but I want to talk about what made that show great. People are still all over me about how great that show. I just got off the phone with Jim Bazzani from Caleb and Brown. He just called me right before showtime. And he was saying, oh, my crew had the best time. He was sad that he couldn't make it, but there was 2 Caleb and Brown people there, Andrew and Jim. No, not Jim. James, I believe. Oh my God, I feel terrible not remembering this guy's name. I only met like 350 people last week, something like that. But of those guys I'd interviewed once before. But James, correct. Yeah, thanks, Becky. That conversation I just had with Jim is going to be a little tricky going forward because I'm trying to get compliance for everybody whoever saw my show last night. I know I'm changing channels here a little bit, but whoever saw my show last night or who was at the show and they've seen Mr. Kirk Carmichael, he has what I'm going to call a tax opportunity or solution for many. And Caleb and Brown do not, so far, their compliance department does not accept it as a way out, if you will, or an avenue in to Caleb and Brown. I will tell you that there are other people out there, and I'm not trying to promote anybody. I'm not even promoting Caleb or Brown for that matter, but I am trying to say that if they don't get their act together, I'll probably have to do other avenues, if that makes sense. And this cat is back, right? Yeah. So, and the cat's a wonderful cat. It really is. But if you don't pay it enough attention, the claws start coming out. And, you met them like that. Those people that, like, if you don't give them enough attention and they're like, and then the claws start coming out and they're like, because you met them, the type. You've seen them. Yeah. I'm not going to go there. I was about to go there and I'm not doing it. All right. What makes a great show, Allan? Get back to that, would you? I'll tell you what makes a great show. The people in the building, clearly, the energy in the room. We could have done that. We could have done that in a prison cell because of the people were so good. It didn't matter where we did it, but the building was amazing too. But we could have done that meeting anywhere. It would have been off the charts. So, what makes a great show? Content? Nope. What makes it? It's hard to put your finger on it. Our structure. I'm telling you, I know I already mentioned this before, but there was a lady for 25 years. That's what she did. She might even be watching tonight. And she said our format was brilliant. And honestly, I chalk most of that up to Ron. Ron and I put that together to some degree, that we didn't want to have a big giant lunch break. We wanted to have speakers and then breaks and speakers and breaks and then have food and coffee and drink all day. That is how you do a good show. That right there. That's everybody is out. Hey, Allan, I'm thinking about doing a show. And hey, that show was so good. What'd you do different? Mel's got a show coming up, as you guys know. But some people have reached out to me and they're like, hey, I want to put together a show. And everybody's talking about how great your show. What was different? The key is having drinks there all day. Okay. That's key. You have to have that. And you don't want people busting out their wallet every hour to buy a coffee or a bottled water for $11. Really? MGM? Really? $11 for a bottle of water. I'm sorry. I can't promote that kind of thing. It's criminal. I almost asked the guy, hey, if you're gonna rob me, I gotta see the gun. It's kind of a rule with me, If I don't see the gun, I can't give him my wallet. It's a bad old man joke, but anyway, it works sometimes. So the key is drinks all day. And I'm not just talking about alcohol. I'm talking about coffee and water and whatever else, right? Yeah, that's key. The energy. Now, Ron told me this, and I didn't believe it until I witnessed it myself. Because, I don't know about you guys. I don't put on shows. First one I've ever done. In fact, I can honestly tell you that that's the most people I've ever spoken in front of. Now, I know I speak to a camera all the time, so you'd think it'd be the same thing, but it's not. It's not. When you get on that, by the way, I wanted to get on that stage an hour before I did. I was pumped. And then when I got up there, I said half the stuff I wanted to say because I just thought it was taking too long. I didn't. You don't ever underestimate the intention, the attitude, the personality, the spiritual well-being of the person who's putting the show on and the group behind it. Don't ever underestimate that. I learned that the hard way last year in Las Vegas. Okay? There's good energy and not good energy. And sometimes good energy is in the room with bad energy. Whatever. But I didn't really understand what Ron meant when he told me that. He told me that last year. And I said, well, I don't know. And he goes, no, Allan, the man does 6, 8, 10 weddings a weekend sometimes. I mean, it's crazy. His team does weddings. And he said, Allan, the difference between a good wedding and a bad wedding is the people in the wedding. The people being married, the people that are there, because they attract a certain style of human being, a certain psyche, a certain attitude, a certain positivity, a certain amount of optimism that actually carries over into the entire presentation. And the theme of your show has to be optimistic. And I didn't understand that. I really did not understand that until, no, Jess, no. See, now Jesse's going to chase the cat because it's that time of night when he decides that the cat that he's been sleeping with all day is something fun to play with. But, we're not going to do that, Jess. No. Come on. Back. Come on. Back. Every time I do a show in this room, this is how it goes. I don't know. That's just the vibe in it. And I love this one. So when you have the kind of people that we had in that building, and that's funny, I had two or three other speakers that I really wanted to put on stage. In a week or two before the show, they canceled on me. Yeah, they canceled on me, and I was like, oh, man. Isn't that weird? I was just talking to Ron about the fact that I really didn't want those people coming to the show. I'm not talking about it individually. I was just like, I love those people and I think they're great people, but I just didn't want to have to put them on the stage because I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? It's a feeling I had. Back. Go on. Yeah, this is nothing but fun here. Dog on one side, cat on the other, and no, Jess, no. You got to be a big boy now. I know. Jesse just turned 2, and he thinks he runs the whole place. It's tough when you're a father at 2. You know what I mean? Thinks he's got it all figured out. Anyway, enough about the show. Let's get back to I have a plan for this. Not only do I have a plan for what you and I are all going to do together, it's happening. Behind the scenes, I wish you could be part of what happens with me every day. I tell my son and I tell Simon about it, and I guess some others, a few of you. And they're just like, wow, how did you where'd you get that person? How come that person came along and why are they there? And what's the connection between this and that? I don't know. I really don't know yet, but I'm listening. And the next thing I know, boom, they're the perfect person in the right place at the right time. And I'm putting all this together. And I know, look, here's what I know. My channel, I don't promote this channel at all. As you guys probably already know, I don't even do near as many videos as I used to. I just like doing these lives. But I'm talking to other content creators or whatever you want to call us all. And their views are down. And my views are down. All the crypto views are down, I suppose. But like for me, it's because of the content is stale. You're not evolving. We're not evolving as a crypto community. I got Scooby down here, one that they're best friends all day, but this time of night, it's like he wants to chase something. But so their content is stale and they don't know what to do about it. Like I've talked to them behind, on a phone. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, Allan, great. Good to hear from you, Mom. What's happening? I'm on top of the world. I'm on fire. I got people calling me left and right, and the show's expanding. I don't know what to do with it all. I don't want to just give everybody all these opportunities that I hear about because who knows, half of them could be a real problem. And I don't want to do that to people, but like it's getting insurmountable at this point. The opportunity is so real. And then it hit me. It's just like what Ron was saying about the shows. Shows are about the people. Shows are about the place the person who's doing the show is in, mentally, spiritually, vibrationally. And if you're on top of the world, you've got people on top of the world connecting with you. And the opportunities are there. And the other shows, I go back and I start watching these things, and their success profile got them to 50 and 75 and 150 and 200,000 subscribers. But it's the same show. Nobody's evolving here. They went with something that works, and they would never vary from it. Because some people just want to hear that same thing over and over all the time, every day. They just got to hear the news that they're doing the right thing. They bought the right coin, and all the news is good, and that's all they want to hear, which is good too. Don't get me wrong. But where's the opportunity? Where? How do we find it? Crypto's in the toilet. Like, how do we find an opportunity? I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. I have ambitions for my life. I want to be something. I want to do something with my life, and it takes money. It takes income. It takes extra spendable cash every month for me to achieve my goals of helping my neighbor, helping my friends, my church, my community, my people, and wherever you believe that you want to help. It takes funds. And I really see a lot of YouTube channels just falling short of, and like they might be doing well. And hey, for $29.95, you get this little thing, and then I'll sell it to you, and you can just go ahead and do this. And then they're getting money, but they're extracting money from their viewership. So about a year ago, 9 months ago, I guess it was, coming up on a year now, I started saying, well, what am I going to do with my channel, and where am I going to go with it? Well, once you put that out to God's ears, or universe, whatever you like, source, some people like to call it. And when you put that out there, it just starts flooding in if you're in the time or right frame of mind to receive it or to understand it. And boy, did it ever. It just started flowing in. And I said, well, okay, I can listen. I'm a good listener. Let me listen to this. And it just gave me more and more and more opportunity, in which I'm going to share with everybody on this channel. By next Thursday night, I will have it all buttoned down to where I say, okay, I'm going to go with it. I'm thinking Thursday night. Sammy Solar had a great idea. I think I may have to record it on the night before, because Elizabeth and I are going camping for 4 days. I know it's February. I'm going camping. I don't care. I don't care what you think. That's what I'm doing. So these opportunities, are they going to make you rich? No. Are they going to change your life? Not likely. Depends on how crazy you go. Are they going to add to the experience of our community? Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun. This one that I'm going to come up with next Thursday, oh boy, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about it probably every Thursday if you want to know. We're going to have a scoreboard of sorts that's, be on the side. Hey, what'd you do? And how'd you do? And oh my God, look how well we're doing. And it's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be fun to follow because I haven't really to this point ever really done that with anybody here. I can't wait for that. I think it's the perfect product for it. And one of our great viewers brought it to us. So look forward to that. I believe next week we're going to really come clean on that. This is a big one that I learned about a year ago as well. I've learned this a long time ago, but we always forget things. We're really good that way. You have to feel your way through life. You can't. I know a lot of analytical minds are about to change off. I just see the viewership drop right now. You have to feel your way through thought. You can't just think all the time. You have to feel it. So if you're not a daydreamer, and if you're not a visionary, and if you can't foresee tomorrow, you're just always thinking. And you're a thinking man. And there's nothing wrong with being a thinking man, but there has to be moments in your day where you say, you know what, I just want to sit back, listen, and feel it. So I want to think about something that I want to succeed at. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your life, but I am trying to tell you what works for this man. I think about something that I would like to succeed, or prosperity, or health, or wealth in any way coming to me. Happiness coming to me, and me saying, I can allow this in, and then I can resonate with it and feel it, and absolutely feel it. Jess, no. It's so much fun having dogs and cats while you're trying to shoot a video. Can you feel the sarcasm in that one? So when you feel it, don't talk about it. Don't think about it all day. Let it cook. Let it marinate. Because what's going to happen with you is it's going to occur. It might be 6 months down the road. You might say to yourself, well, I sure planned that well, and I had that coming because I wrote it out 50 times. Let it go. Think about it. Know what you want and let it go. Don't dwell on it. Don't sit there every single day and ask yourself, well, why isn't it here yet? The asking of why it isn't here yet is keeping you stuck in why it isn't here yet. I know it sounds too simplistic to believe, but it's absolute truth, and it's absolute fire when used correctly in your lifetime. I know, hocus pocus and all that good stuff, kumbaya, and I get all that stuff, but I'm telling you it works. This man's life, it's too many opportunities, you can't call it a coincidence. You can't just sit there and say to yourself, well, that's crazy talk. Oh, really? And it's happening to this guy. And now it's happening to you because I'm bringing you with me. And I'm not your leader. I'm here to share what you're sharing with me. That's all. I heard about most of the opportunities that I've had through viewership. they brought them to me and said, Allan, what do you think of this? Oh, I think this is great. What do you think? What do we do? Should we run with it? And and the next thing you know, it resonates with me and them, and we go with it. Now you get to prosper. So the prosperity part, how do you make sure that you succeed in life? Well, everybody does it a little differently, clearly. But the one thing I've noticed upon the most focused clarity you can have, the better off you'll be. What I mean by that is, if you have a goal or a mission or a dream or objective, focus on it as much as possible and then see it. Then know it's going to happen. Allow it to happen. Forget about it. This sounds crazy, but if you can walk away from a great idea and a great business profile, most people just, like that cat on my lap a minute ago, they just dig in with both claws and they're just all over it for 20 hours a day, and it consumes their marriage and their life and their family and everything about them, and they fail. Why do they fail? Not all of them fail. They fail because the fact that you're working that hard is a constant reminder that you're not good enough, or you don't deserve it, or you fear something, because fear is a massive motivator. And now you've allowed this fear of failure, that it's a brilliant idea. Your neighbors told you it was a good idea. Your family told you it was a great idea. And now it's consumed your entire life and you haven't made a buck on it. And you're just pounding away. And all of it, in retrospect, was a decade out of your life that you'll never get back because you simply didn't breathe. You didn't allow it to come to you. You said the prayer. You've put the vision out there. You've asked universe for this. And now you're doubting it. You're questioning whether or not you're worthy of any of it. It's crippling you. It's crippled me. It's crippled me most of my life. It's big, guys. It's really, really big. And finding what's wrong with everybody else and everything in the world isn't working for you. I'm sorry, that's not working for you. You might think that you're more informed, and all those Republicans are these guys, and the leftists are these people, and they got blue hair, and these people are, whatever, all that might. You know what all that adds up to be? Distraction, noise, chaos. Because, see, you can't fix the world. You simply can't. Politics will never fix the world. That's why you have a two-party system. It's impossible. I'm not even saying that it could happen one day. It's impossible for politics to solve anything. It's tough. It's a tough reality for a lot of us because we really feel that passionate about, oh my God, if we could just do this with money, and if we just get honest money, and if we could just do this, we could fix the world, we could solve all that stuff. And you know what? All of that adds up to you staring at the hospice nurse and wondering what happened. That's what it adds up to. And wondering why you're alone there. Nobody's come to see you. That's a sad reality. It doesn't allow you to find peace. And peace means something different to everybody, and I understand that. But what I'm talking about is you have to become centered. You have to know that you are your universe, you and your maker. And you don't need somebody else's happiness to make you happy. Oh, sure, it helps. It does. It certainly helps. There's nothing better than having 300. I'll tell you what. If you ever get the chance to have 350 people in a room and you pick up a microphone and you step up on stage, I highly recommend that you try it. There's something about it that I think it's like the perfect amount of people too. Like if it was 1,000, it'd just be too many. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like 300 to 500. And everybody who thought you were crazy your whole life, where are they now? All those people that think that everything that you think is crazy, you're not crazy. You're just doing it different than they are. You're brilliant. You're all brilliant in your own way. I highly recommend you worry about you and crush you and watch what happens around you. And the people, my friends and family like that, they watch me and they just like, oh, wow, look at that. Look what he's doing now. See, he knows how to do all that. No, I don't. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm allowing it in. I'm no longer going, oh, I'm just not qualified and I think they got the wrong person and I don't know why they bring these ideas to me because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't even, no. You walk in the room and you own it. Own it. Why? Because you're in that room. You're in that opportunity. You're at that place. Nobody else. There's nobody else in that room but you, right? That's how you know it's for you, that you belong. This opportunity came to you for a reason. It's so clear to me all now. All of it. It's just so noise. And then when you let the noise go, it just, the fog lifts and you're just standing there and you're like, oh my God, look how clear everything is. And when you're in that zone, I was talking to Simon about this last night. Man, I'm there. I can feel it. I see it every single day. I think to myself, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, thank my lucky stars and all the rest of it. And an hour later, the person that I was thinking about that I haven't been in touch with that person in a couple of days. Maybe I should reach out. No, that's all right. I got other things going on. Boom, they call me an hour later. It's coincidence, I'm sure. It's just coincidence. But where I'm at right now and where you're about to be, because I'm going to bring you with me, you're coming along for the ride here. Look, we have 138 people watching this show right now. That's nothing, right? We're all going to do this together. In a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, there's going to be 140,000 people. And how do I know that? Not that I don't want to be that busy. I've told you, I don't need any more subscribers. The reason why I know that is because I see the pattern. I see what's happening. People are talking about the same old stuff all day long, and nobody's giving anybody any answers. Nobody's giving anybody any solution. Nobody's teaching people that solutions are everywhere in your life, and you're just simply not paying attention to them, or you haven't had anybody hit you over the head and say, hey, water trough, drink. The other thing is I'm not trying to get rich off anybody. Almost everybody on YouTube is like, hey, all right, I need to get a team together and let's how do we charge people and make sure that we got all this income stream coming in, and we get this big convention and we charge them and we get everybody's email so that we can just flood them with opportunities and charge them $29.95 for each ticket. each time they buy, or a monthly fee, or whatever it might be. It just drives me crazy. Every time I see these multimillionaires flying around in their jet, and it's like, well, how do I get rich? And every single one of them, all the way down to Tony Robbins, which I love the guy, don't get me wrong, but every single one of them's like, well, sell them something. That's their answer. No. We have a theme on this show. It's called Give It Away Now. Give it away. What do you care? If you're making money, I had this discussion with some people about a project. And they said, listen, Allan, we're going to charge a fee, and it's a monthly fee, and we want to know if you're behind it. And it's sort of like a trading bot, but it's a trading platform, and they trade for you and the whole thing. And I said, okay, well, all right, well, what's the fee? Oh, it's real cheap. It's $79 a month. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, well, that's great. That's cool. Why do you need my $79 a month? And they're like, well, excuse me, I don't quite understand what you're talking about. I said, well, okay, if this thing works so well and you know how to make money with this thing, why do you need me and all my viewers $79 a month? If you're making so much money every month, why don't you just, compound that, and you don't even need a client. You don't even need to sell $79 a month. If it works as well as you're telling me it's working. And believe me, I had the same conversation with the Go Baby Trader group. Like, well, wait a minute. Whoa, why do I need to buy the thing if it works so well? Why don't you just trade your own platform and get rich without on the backs of others? But he had a brilliant answer. And his brilliant answer was, Allan, I work day and night on these servers. My son and I's here 20 hours a day. I do not have a corporation behind me. Hello, that's big. That was the perfect answer for a man like me. He's like, hey, this is what I do. I'm going to make sure this thing is 24 hours a day running for all of us. That's my job now. So that's the fee I charge. How do you argue that? How do you argue with a man that tells you, hey, this is what it costs me to run this thing safely? Okay, love it. Perfect. I'm going to get, the second half of my show was the best part, and I haven't even got there yet. An hour just isn't long enough anymore. I don't even know what's going on. I have so much to share. This is the part of the show where I probably shouldn't say anymore. But I have an opportunity for everyone next week. I want you all to tune in. I want you to look at it through your own eyes. Don't look at it through my eyes. I want you to look at it through your own eyes. I'm going to have a gentleman on. I think I'm going to interview him for next Thursday night's show. And I believe this to be true. It's going to be a fun project, and we're going to crush it. And I don't know what else to say about that. I really feel good about this one. I really like it a lot. It's going to be entertaining, if nothing else. Are you not entertained? I mean, when you buy something, don't you, and you want to get into it, and you're following it every single. And by the way, I'm talking about like literally $100 buy-in. If you put any more than $1,000 in this, you were very risky. I would not do that. We're going to kind of look at it like it's an upstart company, like a meme coin almost. Hey, there's this upstart thing and it's cruising along, but the team behind it and the backbone behind it, it's just, oh man, I can't. It's just going to be fun because it's going to be one of those things. Hey, you throw $100 or $500 in there, and it's like the returns are off the charts, and you're like, wow, okay, I see how they're doing this. I'm going to talk about the fundamentals of it for a minute here before I get out of here. And the fundamentals go like this, and you'll see this over and over and over and over now that I explain this to you. Okay. This is this man's vision. It's not my, it's something I've been working on. Traditional finance, TradFi, is done. We all know that. With the advent of stable coins, the open market, it's mind-boggling. And I had an economist, I was listening to an economist the other day, and you guys probably even saw the show, and he was talking about how the dollar's going away and all the rest of it. And he may or may not have a channel that many of you watch. And I was listening to it, and all of it sounded like nails on a chalkboard to me. But the one thing that he kept, or many of these people bring up, is they keep bringing up, well, China has 1.5 trillion US notes, and Japan has all these notes, and Europe has all these notes. And if they sell these notes, America and the dollar goes to zero. And, they have all these things. And as an economist, the first thing I think of is okay, I hear what you're saying. And it makes sense because you've all regurgitated that same sentence a million times to where that's the narrative and that's the logic, correct? Except for you're missing one big point. And that point is 20 years ago when they bought that debt, okay, $1 trillion was a lot of money. It's just like whoever bought a house 20 years ago was looking at the house payment going, man, why would I ever sell this? I'm set. So in other words, the money that they have holding over the U.S. Treasury's head has been inflated away to some degree. And I know what you're thinking. You say, well, it's $1 trillion a year that we pay. And we pay $1 trillion out to somebody, and somebody's spending that $1 trillion. So that's economic value that somebody's spending $1 trillion worth of US dollars. Very big. And then I started doing a little bit of research. And this one's key, and you might want to remember what I'm about to say. See, listen to this. Okay, so I looked it up. 1.7 in Japan. I think it's it's almost 2 trillion that Euro owns of US debt. It's 1.4 with China. I know Russia used to have a bunch, but we stole it from them. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother show. So what is that total? I don't know, 5 trillion or something like that. Did you happen to notice how much stable coins transactions we did in January? Anyone notice? 2025 stablecoin transaction was somewhere around 18 to 22, depending on who you listen to, in volume, trillion. In January alone, our very first U.S. legal year of doing it, starting on January 1st, we did nearly $11 trillion in stablecoin volume. So tell me again what 1.5 trillion means. Oh, is it really that significant? Because see, the world's going to start buying 10 trillion or transacting $10 trillion a month. And by the way, I don't think the first month is going to be the biggest, right? It's going to exponentially grow. And nobody's telling you that. Nobody's talking about that. They're telling you old has-been info. And they're not looking where we're headed. And they're terrible at it because The narrative says fear of last year. Think about that number. We did 10 trillion. You know that we're going to do 100 trillion a month by the end of this year? 100 trillion a month. That's this man's guess in stablecoin volume. Now wrap your head around whether or not we care about China owning $1 trillion worth of our debt. Tether and USDC will be bigger than that by August. That's where we're headed, people. It's called volume, and we're headed there. So, getting back to what this man deciphered from all of that, pretty simple. The old way of business was through a bank, through traditional TradFi, through the debt-based system. We all know that. Who got rich in that? The empire got rich. Okay? Empire always gets rich. But the banking institutions got rich on your back. Because, see, they told you that 8% annual is a really good return. You should be happy with that, Mr. Smith. All the while, this man's known for, I don't know, a decade or two, that the banks make somewhere around, I don't want to get absurd, but at least 20% on their money monthly. Yes, I said that, monthly. And they're sharing 8% annually with you? Oh, they're so generous. And most of these CDs aren't even a full point or 2 points. A CD, lock your cash up for how long? Okay. Combine that now new with TradFi, with the liquidity of the stablecoin market that I just discussed, 10 trillion a month, and you have the makings of fire. That's not just smoke, that's fire in that box. Now, what do you need to do? You have to find a strategy, a trading strategy that is successful. Well, the number one problem, Sage, she'll vouch for this, probably not in the chat, but I love you, girl. The biggest problem with trading is humans. Well, we're about to get rid of that now, aren't we? Well, Wall Street got rid of it a long time ago. But what are we about to do? We're about to integrate great AI technology into your laptop. Joe Smith. And there's great minds that are doing it in different ways, handing it to you. Like Ed Barsano, I love you, brother. He's doing that. He's handing that to you, and he's giving you, I don't know, 3 to 8% a month on your money. 3 to 8% a month. We're not talking 8% a year. That's monthly. Okay. Is he the Lone Ranger? No. I've heard dozens of these people. So, and by the way, he only takes longs. What happens when he starts taking shorts or hedges both sides of the trade, which Wall Street does? You become twice as profitable and you never have a loser. What also happens is you start to run your own book. When you run your own book, you have no sales commission. You have no spread. You have no trade going in, no commission going in, and no commission going out. How much easier is scalping at that point? Do you care if it goes up 1 point or 2 points? No, because you don't have a spread or a commission in there. I know I'm getting technical with trading terms here, but hang with me. So when somebody comes to me and says, Allan, we'd like to get a group of your people to invest $100, and that $100 is going to trade in a pool, and that pool makes whatever it makes, 5, 10, 15, 20% a month, and that pool is going to compound daily or weekly, you can do the math. How are they able to do that? No middleman, no Wall Street, no prying eyes, no hand. Hey, pay the man. You got to pay the fees. Oh, well, see, you know, the regulation said that you didn't do this. You didn't KYC these people. You've got to KY. Oh, no, you got, these might be money launderers and all of these people. And we can't allow that. We're the banking institute. The banks are done, is what I'm trying to say. Banks will always be there to some degree, but the banks as a trading institution are in a lot of trouble because you and I, Joe Bob Smith, are going to be their trading competition. And the profitability of these systems and these networks is there. So how do you promote that? How do you do that? Well, social media, right? The future of traditional finance is done because they didn't capitalize on social media. They kept all the profits in-house and in the middleman. Well, crypto came along and we said, hey, with the stablecoin and the crypto, we don't need a middleman. We can do the whole thing on our side. So now we have the AI, we have the banking backside of it, we have the non-regulation side of things, and we don't have any spread and we don't have any commission, and all of it's pure profit. And if we share it as a pool, as a team, we can have a life. That's where we're at. That's this man's put it together. When you put it all together, when you listen to other trading platforms doing the same thing that Ed Barsano and many other great people are doing for us, you say to yourself, our future is very bright, very bright. And I love a bright future, as you know. And the more I understand that, the more I believe that that's happening, and the more I see that it's real, and the more I project that that is the optimism thinking about our future going forward, the more those opportunities flood into this man's desk. So when you ask yourself going forward, self, can I make a buck on my laptop? And the answer going forward is, if you have the right social media group, if you have the right connections, and if you have the right traders that are actually trying to help you pool funds and earn, I know, you'll win, at least in the short term. At least I'm thinking the next, year to 2 or 3, you're going to be looking really good with these trading platforms. So hopefully I've finished on a high note and painting the picture for everybody. I've got to get going. I've got other calls to make. So with that, guys, I will see you guys next week. I'm thinking like I'm going to probably record something and post it next Thursday, as Elizabeth and I will be on the road enjoying ourselves. We're hoping. Okay, guys. Love y'all very much. And I am out.